livearena. Hey guys, welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Cruising in the house, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to mix between a test server video and a sneak peek video from Raid that just has been launched. We're going to mix both what we had as information from the test server and what's being showed here on that sneak peek video that we're going to watch together, to see the variations between the information we got in the sneak peek and the tests we did on the test server. Let's take a look in the video and see what's waiting for us on the Raid's 6th anniversary.
Everyone, update 10.30 is just around the corner, with Raid's 6th anniversary being the focus. Alongside that main course, we'll also be serving up some tasty side treats for you to enjoy as well. So let's dive in with our latest sneak peek and see what's coming. First up, Raid's turning 6 years old. The Festival of Creation will be returning this year, packed with new events, gifts, and all the fun you'd expect from an anniversary celebration. This year's Festival of Creation is being held in Aravia, home of the elves.
Interesting.
Think classy soirees, elegance personified, and high society. Fancy, right?
Interesting.
The Bastion is getting a makeover, so get your finest silks ready.
Okay, about that, let me share our thoughts about the visuals that we saw on the test server. Today, guys, we are on the test server. Can you see by the visual here that is a special event coming to the Raid community? Is the 6th anniversary of Plarium. So the thematic of the anniversary is around here on the Bastion. There is a balloon we here with the 6, meaning the 6 years of Plarium here. We have the special buildings here, all settled to this event that are maybe coming into the game with a lot of features.
If the enigmatic and charming Armand's the Magnificent was the perfect host last year, then the graceful and sophisticated, aristocratic Lord Entertainer Fabian is certainly the man for the
here's
job
the fusion
time around. Sure, he's undead, but death is no excuse to stop the festivities. Fabian loves hosting parties, and that sometimes means dealing with unwanted guests. He's a crowd control powerhouse with petrification and true fear debuffs, manipulating skill cooldowns and a self-cleanse, all part of his kit. He's gonna crush it in Arena and Siege. No one ruins Fabian's receptions and gets away with it. You can get your hands on Lord Entertainer Fabian through a special fusion event running from March 10th.
Okay, here we got when the fusion is going to happen, March 10th to March 26th. Is going to be a fusion. We already know we don't have access to his kit yet. He's not on the test server. So every information we got about this champion till now is the information showed to us on this sneak peek video.
To March 26th. Don't miss out on adding this graceful ghost to your roster. You can find all the details for this year's Festival of Creation on our dedicated website.
Promo code.
There's also a little puzzle related to this year's celebration, and solving it will net you a sweet reward. Raid's 6th anniversary isn't the only thing coming with update 10.30. We're also rolling out some live arena changes that we teased in one of our What's Next in Raid episodes. We're speeding up progress by increasing the points you earn per victory in silver tiers to 7 points, and reducing the inactivity penalty to just 1 point. Once you've battled your way into gold tier, that's it. You've made it. No more dropping out. Speaking of leagues, we're changing up.
What that means, they are pushing everybody on the server to do livearena because you want the rewards, you want the new sets. They're going to present later on this video, and the existing sets like Zio and Impulse sets, and you want the Quintus, you want everything that livearena offers you. The primal shards by winning the 35 battles 4 times per month, and all of these pushes the player to do the livearena. and they noticed that they are spread around a lot of allos. So they are pushing everybody to the gold because it's going to be so easy to climb. So easy to climb. Earning 7 points per victory, losing 3, and inactivity only taking away 1 point. So when you reach gold, you won't be able to go back to silver. So everybody with a small amount of time will be on gold tier. And if everybody is on gold tier, you're going to be able to face any player that's out there, the strongest to the weakest. Let's see how they are going to make this matchmaking, because for the strongest to face a weak is very easy, but to a weak face the strongest is very hard. So let's see how they do that, this matchmaking, to not be something to make a bad experience for the weaker players, because the stronger player won't have fun either massacring a smaller account. You know, probably we want even fights. Fight someone with your own league or the same league. Maybe we need higher tiers, platinum, diamond, godlike, or whatever it's be. Let's take Malak.
Up gold tier as well. It'll now become a live arena seasonal league, complete with a live leaderboard. Each session will last for 4 weeks, followed by a 2-week cooldown before the next one kicks off.
Interesting.
During this cooldown period, you'll still earn and lose points based on victories and defeats, and you're still aiming to climb as high as you can. For those of you who reach the top of the leaderboard, there are some seriously awesome goodies up for grabs. If you can finish in the top 100, top 10, or the #1 spot on the leaderboard, you'll be rewarded with shards, gear, skill tomes, and more. Plus, don't forget to show off your exclusive new avatar frames and flex your ranking on friends and foes alike. There's also milestone rewards you can earn during a live arena seasonal league by gaining season points. Once you've claimed them all, keep fighting and earning points to claim a
so there is magma coins here. There are gemstones here. Probably materials to forge new relics here. That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Seasonal chest. These chests contain artifacts and accessories from 2
legendary and mythical parts, and more magma coins here.
New variable gear sets. Let's check them out. First up, there's Stone Cleaver. As the name implies, it's perfect for taking out enemies hiding behind stone skin shields and will suit your attackers nicely. As it's a variable set, you'll get different bonuses for equipping different amounts of gear. But at 9 pieces, you'll get 25% more attack, 30% more critical damage, 10% more speed. Ignore 20% of your enemy's defenses, and you'll deal 100% more damage to stone skin shields.
Okay, we actually have the access to the detailed information about this set on the test server. Let's take a look. This one, the Stone Cleaver set. That is a 9-piece set with some interesting effects. Let me describe each one for you. With 1 piece, you get 10% more attack. With 2 pieces, 15% more critical damage. With 3 pieces, 5% more speed. With 4 pieces, the damage to Stone Skin Shield will be 30% higher. It's a similar effect that we have on the Cracking Roots Blessing. The damage to the Stone Skin Shield, the Stone Skin HP or the Stone Skin Shield, is going to be higher. With this Blessing 6-star, we have 100% more damage. With 4 pieces of the Stone Cleaver set, we're gonna have 30% more damage. With 5 pieces of this set, we're going to have more 15% attack. With 6 pieces, we're going to ignore 20% of the defense. So with 6 pieces, we're going to do 30% more damage to the Stone Skin Shield, and we're going to ignore 20% of the defense, like a Savage set or Little set. With 7 pieces, more 5% speed. With 8 pieces more, 15% critical damage, and the interesting part. With 9 pieces, we're gonna do 100% more damage to the stone skin shield. So basically, with 100% damage from the 9 pieces, is like you have another cracking roots. If you have a 6-star cracking roots and the 9 pieces of stone clever, this new set, we're gonna do 200% more damage to the stone skin. With that, we hope that some champions are able to break the stone skin and do damage to the champions. That's going to be a real possibility now. We don't know, in fact, in which chest we are going to get these pieces from, if it is the daily 5-win chest, if it is the 35 wins chest, or if it's going to be a seasonal chest. But we are going to get it through the live arena. Interesting set. It might change a little bit the meta, because some champions, for example, Siegfried, with 200% more damage on Stone Skin, probably he will be able to kill a champion through the Stone Skin and kill the others through the Splash. That will totally change the meta. And a lot of other champions that have very impactful skills can now maybe be able to destroy the Stone Skin and do damage to the champions. This is a set with the potential of changing the arena meta. That's how impactful this set is, but we... Back to it.
Hard to see why it's called Stone Cleaver. The second set you can earn is called Rebirth. I think I can guess where this one's going too. Rebirth can make your revivers faster with an extra 32% speed, more resilient against debuffs with 60 points of resistance, and also grant them a bunch of unique effects. They'll revive allies with 10% extra HP and turn meter, get a block damage buff once per round whenever an ally is killed, and decrease the cooldown of an ally's skills when they get revived by the wearer. It's a real lifesaver.
We actually have more details about this set also in the Tassava. Let's take a look at it. And there is a second set. Another really interesting set. This one. The Rebirth set. It's another 9 pieces set that has a special effects. Let me tell you. With 1 piece, you're gonna get 20% more resistance. With 2 pieces, 10% more speed. With 3 pieces, plus 20 resistance. With 4 pieces, 10% more HP and 10% turn meter to allies revived by this champion. For example, if you have a Duchess that revives your team with 0 turn meter, she will revive your team with 10% turn meter. If there is a champion like, for example, Galatir, that revives your team with 50% turn meter, you will revive the team with 60% turn meter. With 4 pieces of this set, this is the effect. With 5 pieces, more 10% speed. With 6 pieces, places block damage buff on the wearer for 1 turn when ally is killed by enemy. Oh gosh. This is very impactful. Because now, for example, if you have this set on a Odin and someone kills a champion on your team, the Odin is going to get block damage. The Odin is going to get block damage. So you won't be able to easily kill the Odin if you kill another champion before him. And a lot of revivers could be very useful with this set now. For example, you have this set on a Galatir that is a rare champion that's hard to kill. And you kill someone before killing him, he will have a block damage until he got his turn. And extra effects when he revives. And the plus resistance, a lot more resistance, a lot more HP, and a lot more speed, is a very viable set for Reviver champions. And there's more. On the 7th piece, you're gonna get plus 20 resistance. On the 8th piece, you're gonna get 12% more speed. And on the 9th piece, you're gonna decrease the cooldown of any revitalized skills by 1 turn. For example, if you have a champion with a 2 turns cooldown skill, when you revive him with 9 pieces of this set, he will have only 1 turn of cooldown. So he will be able to use the skill in the next turn. That's a really interesting set. A lot of new possibilities will be revealed. We don't know if there is a cooldown for this block damage, if it is every time someone kills an ally, or if it's a single usage. For example, like the stone skin that is on the beginning of the battle, or the swift parry that procs the block, the unkillable once. I think it's only once per battle, and we hope that is only once per battle to not be broken. But it's a very impactful set. A lot of new strategies will be made with this set. A lot of champions will fit perfectly into this set.
Both sets offer advantage in PvE and PvP, so whether you're crushing it in the dungeons or conquering the arena, these sets are here to help you dominate. Another feature coming in 10.30 we teased in our last What's Next video is background multi-battles. Once you hit level 45, you'll unlock this feature for all game modes across Raid where multi-battles are already available. All you need to do is set up as usual, and then tap the Start Background Multi-Battles button, and you're good to go. Multi-battle rules still apply, but here's the best bit. You won't have to sit and watch your champions fight. You can sort your gear out, summon champions, almost anything other than watching your team run multi-battles. Oh, and you can use background multi-battles with super raids at the same time. Lastly, but by no means least, we've got a little quality of life update.
Before we enter the siege part, we actually have access to that on the test server. We have access to this feature on the test server, and we could test it. Let's take a real look on what this feature is capable of. It should have been the best feature of Raid in the past 5 years, but let's see what's really available for us on the test server. We also have a new feature here that should be the most impactful feature that was coming into this update. That is the background battles. Here we can go to the dungeons, for example, and set up in the moot battles. Let me move myself. We can set up here a new button that is the background moot battles. So you're going to burn through your normal moot battle numbers, but doing it on the background. When you start, it's going to set up a count here, and it's going to be doing the background battles here. We are doing, for example, Spider Hard here, and the count is going up here, so we can access all the areas of the game. There is a visual effect here in the dungeon that we are doing the background battles. This symbol here, it will appear in many places because we are doing the background battles. As I am talking, you see the number is growing. We already did 3 battles, and it's burning our energy here. If you take a look at the energy, as soon as it starts a new one, look, the energy went down. This should be the most revolutionary quality of life thing that we got from these updates. But emphasis on the but, because it's not fully prepared to be launched yet. Let me explain why. If you're doing a background moot battle, you should be able to use that time to do another content. Don't you agree with me? So, for example, you want, while farming the spider here or any of these dungeons, to do another dungeon. For example, if I want to do the Shogun, I can't, because I'm doing moot battles. If I try to do the twins, I can't, because I'm doing background moot battles. So, okay, we can't farm 2 dungeons at the same time. So let's do another thing. Let's do the campaign. We can't, because we are doing moot battles. Background. So, we can do the campaigns, we can do dungeons. Let's do faction wars. We can't, because we're doing background moot battles. Okay, let's do at least our arena battles. We can't, because we're doing background moot battles. So, let's at least do our clan boss, Hydra, Chimera, Demolord. We can't, because we're doing background moot battles. Let's do our Hydra. Oh, we can't. Let's do our Chimera. Oh, we can't. So, at least, let's do our Doom Tower. We can't. So, let's do Cursed City. We can't. Basically, all the features that you see here that we would be able to do while we are doing the background moot battles, we can do. At the state it is now, what can we do? We can upgrade champions using the Tavan. We are able here to go in a champion and update it. These we can do. So you can do some tournaments and events that involves champion training using beer and chicken. Okay. You can forge gear. Yes, you can. You can forge gear here. Yes, you can. You can summon souls. Yes, you can. Summon your souls. You can summon shards. And you can play with the Guardian Ring, Empower, or Unbind, or set up Faction Guardians or Despairing Pit. Basically, you can only use the features that you see here. And you can build up champions at the moment. You can mess up with your champions or do gear cleanses or upgrade items here. But the champions that you are using on the background moot battle will have the symbol of the background moot battle on their faces here, to that if you mess with them, you're gonna mess us your RAM. But for example, you can you can roll your gear. And as you can see, we are having gear here. These are the gear that's been farmed in the dungeons. For example, if we are talking here and one of the background battles ends and a gear that my filter let me have it, it's going to be here. So I can, the gear that I'm farming, I can go there and try to filter or upgrade and something like this to see if it's worth. I can even sell it. So basically, we just have these options, but we can't use any of these features here: campaign, dungeons, faction wars, arena, clan bosses, doom tower, cursed city, and probably siege. So what's the point of this feature being launched this way? Because in my head, that would be a massively feature for us to avoid a lot of time consuming. But in the way it is being launched, it's useless. It's useless. Almost useless. 95% useless. In my opinion, if you want to launch that, launch it only when it's fully prepared to be launched. When we are able to do an arena battle or a campaign battle or a dungeon, another dungeon battle, or faction wars, or clan bosses, or doom tower, or cursed city, while we are running our dungeons on the background. Because in the way it is right now, you can launch background battles and be sitting here looking to your bastion, your portal, your altar of souls, doing nothing, basically. So that's useless the way it is. And there is more. If you go there and stop, you can stop or end. Let me end. I cannot sell. I cannot click on the items that we farmed. So I can't even manipulate the items that we got from the background battles. That's terrible. We should be able to upgrade them from this page and sell them from this page like the normal multi-battle allow us to do. Because right now they are going straight to our inbox or our vault without our being able to manipulate them. So it's another part of the feature that it's not prepared to be launched. So my opinion about that should be the most important feature that was coming on this update, is a total mess. Total mess. I know that is the first stage of launching a feature. But why launching a feature that is not ready or is not fully built, is not finished? You are offering us a half-baked cake. And we don't want a half-baked cake. We want the fully cake. We want the pizza with the cheese, with the pepperoni, with whatever you want to put on it, and baked. Don't give us just the pizza dough or whatever you want to give us. Please give us the feature in a way it will fully serve us with the proposal it has. Let us do every or any other action that we want while we are doing the background battles, because it's for that that this feature exists. There are plenty of other games that this feature exists and it works. It works perfectly. So, at my opinion, that should be the best feature, the quality of life that was coming on this update. But at the state it is right now, it's totally useless. Totally useless. So, it should be wonderful, but it's useless. Probably nobody's going to use it for nothing. Unless you want to do a gear cleanse and farm something during a CVC or something like that. You want to rebuild your champions while farming or something like that. But in the way it is right now, this first stage is useless. You should delay the launching of it, Plarim, and only offer us this feature when she's fully ready to be used in a proper way, in the way that suits her proposal. That's my opinion about it. But let's talk about something good that is going to be launched yet on this update. It's a massive update. We are having that said. Let's take a look at the siege.
Date for Siege coming too. Clan leaders and deputies will be able to set attack targets as high, medium, and low priority. It's a handy little way to help ensure everyone in your clan is on the same page. Knowledge is power, and knowing where to attack can make sieges more successful. And
that's interesting because here, as you can see, there are the banners on the siege, and the leaders and the deputies will be assigning that. There are three kind of banners: the high priority, medium priority, and low priority. And it's gonna be good to your leaders to assign the priorities to the players. It will make the communication easier.
And that's everything for today. We can't wait to celebrate Raid's 6th anniversary with you when update 10.30 drops. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment to let us know what you're most excited about. Until next time.
Okay, really interesting sneak peek. I'm going to like it. Do that too. And also like our video and subscribe to our channel. We are already subscribed to Raid's channel. But that's not all. That's not all at all. There is a lot more on the test server that's coming with these update that we're going to show you on the test server. Let's go. We have a lot to talk. So let's start few by few. First, here we are going to have 100 more spaces on the inventory for the artifacts and 100 more spaces on the inventory for accessories. So it was 1,500 the maximum before, now it's 1,600. So the first thing that came as a quality of life change in this massive update, it's the 100 extra space on the inventory, both for artifacts and for the accessories. That's the first thing that it's here from this massive update. There is more. Both Calamitus and Alio. Oh, sorry, he's a Sylvan Watcher. And Alio got massive buffs that we're going to discuss in a separated video just for that. That's coming tomorrow. So we're going to discuss the buffs that both Calamitus and Alio got on this massive update in a specific video just for that. The fourth thing that's coming to the game is something really interesting. We now got a new kind of relics, the livearena group of relics. We got now 8 more relics here that we can have access. We don't know how specifically we're going to get them, but as the first video of What's Next in Raid introduced, it should be through the chests from livearena. So, as we see here from this test, the relics will be of the livearena group. Probably going to get materials from the chests that we get when we do our battles, 35 wins on the livearena. We hope so. Or maybe the daily 5 battles wins. Even better. We're going to have access to these 8 relics. 2 mythicals, 2 legendary, 2 epics, and 2 rares. Let's take a look at them. Dwarf of Aida gives HP, attack, and accuracy. The wearers deals 5% more damage using their default skills when all other skills are on cooldown. 5% more damage can go up to 15 more damage when fully maxed. Good effect, but very difficult to use. Only specific champions will be able to use it in a proper way. It's a rare relic, so you cannot expect a lot from it. We're gonna see if we find a good usage for it somehow. Second rare, the Royal Digit, gives attack, HP, and critical damage, whereas has a 20% of chance to decrease income damage by 10%. When fully maxed, the damage reduction chance goes up by more 30%, so 50% of chance of reducing the damage by 10%. Really interesting effect. Will make you a lot more tank with a rare relic. So this one is really interesting. Really interesting. Not a massive damage mitigation, but interesting damage mitigation. And it's a rare one, so you're gonna get probably a lot of it. The first epic, Moon Death Orchid, in my opinion, the best visual that we had for our relic until now is this one. Look, is this cool? That's growing a flower, an orchid, out of the school. Really cool visual. What it gives: attack, HP, and speed. The effect: wearers deals pure damage equal to 20% of their attack to enemies that resist debuffs from the wearer. This damage cannot be critical, and when fully maxed, it gives more 80%. So in the total is going to be 100% of the attack as pure damage. Interesting, very situational. Maybe it can work like a War Master proc. Probably it will work as a War Master proc. You know, you're gonna hit for your normal damage and a plus 7k, 8k, 9k, 10k damage. We don't know how impactful this damage will be. We're gonna need to test it to have a proper way of seeing if it's good or bad. Until that, I would say that's not a very impactful relic. The second epic one, Preserved Aberration. Another relic with a very cool visual. There is like a dragon or a dinosaur inside of a crystal. It gives attack, accuracy, and critical damage. Wearer will ignore 2% of the target's defense for each poison debuff on the target placed by the wearer. And when fully maxed, it will grow up to 8%. So for each poison, you're gonna ignore 8% of the target defense. Guys, in the right champion's hands, this relic can be massive. For example, if we're talking about Xavier or Nell, you can easily ignore 100% of the target's defense by put poisons on the target. This relic can have impactful purpose on the life of some champions. For example, now and Xavier that came into my head, but there are more. There are really more. So this epic one can be very impactful, the Preserved Aberration. Let's see the first legendary one, Axe Serpents. It gives HP critical damage and attack, whereas single target attack deal 5% more damage for each exposed neck present in the battle. So this relic only works on the Hydra. When fully maxed, more 10%. So the wearer's single target attack will deal 15% more damage if maxed for each exposed neck present in the battle. Oh gosh. These might boost thunder damage in a very big way because the A2 is a single target attack initially. That might be a very impactful relic for the Hydra damage in general. Not only for Thunder, there are a lot of other champions that do single target very powerful skills. For example, Ieyasu or the A2 of the Toshiru, you know? So that can be really, really, really impactful. We need to test. Axe Serpentis. The first legendary. Second legendary, Arp of Casbiel. Gives HP, resistance, and speed. Interesting. Wearer's turn meter fills by 5% each time they use a skill that doesn't deal damage. It goes up to more 10%, total 15%. Oh my god. So these Arp of Casbiel in support champions that has a lot of skills that does not do damage, it will make them cycle a lot faster through the turns. For example, every time the Galateer uses his A2, he will get 20% turn meet boost plus an extra 15% on him if this relic is on him. A lot of champions could benefit a lot from these to cycle fast through the abilities. Interesting legendary. I don't think it's top tier, but really, really interesting. Let's see the mythical ones. Let's start with the Inferno Polytope. It gives HP, speed, 12 speed, interesting, and defense. Fully resets the cooldown of the wearer's skill whenever the HP drops below 15%. Cooldown 3 turns. When fully maxed, 10 more 25%. So when HP drops below 40%, when fully maxed, oh, this mythical is very impactful. This mythical is very impactful. For example, if you lock a champion like Nice and you hit him and he does not die, but he loses a lot of HP, you take away 70% of his HP, he will get his skills back automatically if he's wearing this mythical relic. So this one is very impactful in the right moment. Interesting. This mythical is interesting. And the last one, the Death Dealer. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. It gives attack, HP, and speed. Wearer's attack will always be critical hits. but the wearers will receive 200% more damage. When fully maxed, the extra damage will drop to 100% more damage only. Basically, if you have this mythical relic on a champion, you don't need critical hit. You always will hit critical. This is extremely powerful because the amount of stats that you're going to able to put more on your champion on speed, attack, or critical damage, for example, it will be massive. Some champions that have some survivability mechanics inbuilt in them can do a lot with this death dealer, or champions that you use to boost bosses in a one hit KO. Now you can build them with almost total damage stats without having to care about critical hit. The death dealer is an absolutely amazing mythical relic. It can be very powerful if used in the right strategy. New builds will be possible because, for example, your Mizani can be built now with 0 critical hate, all her stats into critical damage and attack, and you can just accelerate her with someone like Shuzen, and she will destroy the bosses with one skill. This mythical has a lot of potential, and as a mythical relic, it has 4 slots for gemstones, so the possibilities are very high. That's really interesting, even more for the new kind of champions that needs a lot of accuracy. The nukers that, for example, Marius, that needs a lot of accuracy on their builds, now they can be built with 0 critical hit, but they will take a lot more damage. If he is hit by 1000, with this relic he will be hit by 3000 instead, and if fully maxed, 2000 instead of 1000. That's a lot, because every damage that you take is going to be multiplied by something between 2 and 3 times the damage. So that are the new relics that we are going to be able to get with the materials we're going to collect from the live arena. That's what really impactful part of this update. And that are all the things that this massive update is going to give us. New sets, champion buffs, background battles, new relics, live arena new frames, and extra inventory spaces for artifacts and accessories. It's a lot of things, some of them game changing. So let's wait for the update tomorrow for us to start to see it in game, and there will be a specific video about Elio and Calamity's buff, a full test of them tomorrow. So guys, if you like this kind of content, as always, and remember,
It's all about arena.